when I was young, we talked about meditation every day, and I thought meditation, the purpose of meditation is to stop all thoughts. Also, some people mistakenly sort of believe that the purpose of meditation is to stop all thoughts, right? When actually what we need to learn at the beginning of our spiritual practice is how to let go of distracting thoughts and cultivate the correct view. So the purpose of meditation actually is not to get a sort of good feeling, but the purpose is to understand what life is about, our life, and how to make our lives meaningful. So that's I think the purpose of meditation is for really understand our life and also how to take care of our life and how to make our lives meaningful. That's I think the purpose. The purpose is to understand our Buddha potential and to actualize it for the benefit of all sentient beings. I'm sure also you think that meditation, we always think what is people like meditation, and why? Because very busy mind, very difficult to control our mind. That's why, I mean, it helps meditate. If you meditate a lot, especially shamatha like that, it really helps a lot. But the most important is the purpose of meditation is to understand the correct view, which is the meaning for our life. And make sure your motivation is very very suitable. Try to understand the Buddha's teachings and apply them to your life, because doing so will bring about continuing and beneficial change. Many people say, I meditate a lot, so that's why it change, it can change my mind, change my life. And it's also important to examine your capacity to help others. But at this time, maybe your ability to help others is quite limited, right? Limited. But if you reduce your own ignorance, anger, attachment, and other faults, other afflictions, and increase your good qualities such as generosity, patience, loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom, you will be of greater benefit, right? So if you become a fully enlightened, you will be of the greatest possible benefit to all beings. Therefore, generate the altruistic intention to become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings most effectively. And we can make each moment of our lives meaningful, transforming it into the path to enlightenment by practicing through training. Think about what does it to us to live a meaningful life. How could we make our life more meaningful? What is really this life? Think about. We always think about our life in some samsaric way. That's good. We are extremely fortunate to have a precious human life with its freedoms and sort of fortunates, right? We have to recognize that. That's not easy to have the precious human life. Do we spend most of our time and energy cultivating our minds and hearts? Or are we two-way we need to sort of investigate? We're ruled by our attachment and anger, being tangled up in distractions, such as the what do you call it? Worldly concerns. There is a do you know that worldly concerns? Most people think about that, right? How become a famous, how become a rich, how become a uh, uh, how to make money, all this kind of, we have it. I don't know how to say that in English, but I kind of it worldly concern, something like that. All right. So consider the purpose of having a precious human life. Of course, temporary goal within samsara, we have the ability to create the causes for happiness in the future. Ultimate goals, we have the ability to attain liberation or enlightenment, that is to be free of all problems and capable of helping others effectively. That's meant by the precious human life. And we have to, of course, think about the mind, how to control. That's also important. Mind. The word mind does not refer to the brain, right? Because the brain is made of the atoms, right? And the mind is not. The body is material in nature. The mind is formless, right? We understand that. It is clear and knowing. Therefore, the continuities of body and mind are different. Look at the qualities of your body and your mind and see how they are different. This morning I thought that's very important to understand actually what is the mind. Each movement of mind has a cause. The preceding movement of the mind is that part of us that experience, feels, perceive, thinks, so so and so. The presence of the mind is what makes the difference between living beings and not living being. I mean, dead body. So the mind has two qualities, right? Clarity, very important to know. It is formless and allows object to arise in it. That's the first quality. And second quality is awareness, clarity and awareness. So awareness, it can engage with objects. So mind has usually, we say, two qualities, clarity and awareness. Calm mind, calm your mind by observing the breath. Then turn your attention to the mind itself, to what is meditating, experiencing, feeling. That is to the subject, not object of the meditation. So experience your mind is a sort of being clarity and awareness, free from thoughts. So today, actually, I'm going to teach you about the renunciation. All right. So there is a very famous quote from Satya tradition. It's called the parting from the four attachments. Remember last time we talked about that. There's one word about renunciation. Attached to samsara, we have no renunciation. I'm going to teach you that today. Make sure what that means. You understand what that means. Attached to samsara, we have no renunciation. Okay? Understand? When we say that, we are not happy with this word. Attached to samsara, we have no renunciation. So this is actually called renunciation, seeking liberation, right? Seeking liberation. But the most important thing is not to pass our time only in worldly pursuit of business. We must definitely put effort into practice of the Dharma that brings benefit in this and future life. So, attached to samsara, you have no renunciation, means only no meditation, no practice anything about spiritually, about Dharma. Only thinking about, samsaric and worldly. So then this kind of person has no renunciation. A great teacher says, having attained human life of freedom, which is the precious human life, right? And then dying without having a created virtue is like throwing away a precious jewel we have found it, but without using it, right? So we have this precious human life, but no sort of create, no practice, no, nothing, just whole life, no meaningful, sometimes angry, sometimes really jealous, sometimes like that, and then die. Nothing, do something good for themselves or for others. Nothing. That's you waste your precious human life. So furthermore, no matter how much samsaric work we accomplish before entering Dharma, practice, we are never satisfied. The more wealth we possess, the more desire expands. There is no point at which that work is finished. Right? That's clear. Nopa Rinpoche said, never satisfied no matter how much happiness is experienced. Never renounce in samsara no matter how difficult it becomes. That's our life, actually, the ordinary life. We never satisfied, right, with what we have or the. But as mentioned before, this does not mean at all contradict working to support ourselves. Okay, this you need to know. Therefore, we need to recognize that worldly work serves a temporary purpose. Understand that? Just support ourselves, not our ultimate purpose. Actually, if you touch to samsara, no renunciation. They said that. For instance, we are working and busy all this. You have to know that this is the temporary our goal, temporary purpose. Understand that. Need to understand that. For instance, if we go somewhere, right, on business or whatever, we need to prepare before going, right? But that preparatory work is just temporary to make the trip, right? It is not the ultimate purpose of the trip. First, you prepare, get there, make sure you get there, but your goal is not that, or whatever your goal is. So that is our worldly business or doing everything like that. It's not ultimate your goal. It's just a temporary, but your ultimate goal is seeking liberation, thinking about diminish all obstacles, all afflictions. That is the ultimate goal. But in order to do this, you have to support yourself, right? So now, what is the genuine renunciation? It wants liberation from samsara, right? Liberation from samsara. To explain it simply, renunciation means really definitely going. In Tibet, renunciation actually means, I don't know how you understand when I say renunciation, but in Tibet, actually, exactly you translate into English, it's definitely going. That's all. That's the renunciation, how we translate. But why they translate into the Tibetan Ngim Jong, in Tibet Ngim Jong, and they translate into renunciation. That's actually not correctly translated. Actually. So it's definitely going. So where is it that we must definitely go? That's the next question, right? So we must take the path of liberation. So it is an attitude that desire to liberation throughout day and night. In order to have renunciation mind, we have to have this motivation. That's all. That's the renunciation. It doesn't mean you have to give up everything. You can't keep nothing. It doesn't mean that. But renunciation really means you have to go, and that means you have to desire to liberation, all the time. That's very important. The motivation, the renunciation mind. So we have that motivation. We have to have that motivation. So you need to understand it can be practiced even as someone is engaging in worldly work. Many people misunderstand this, So someone who are very busy, take care of the family, take care of everything, work a lot, that doesn't mean that this person doesn't have renunciation. You can do that together, So how could it be something impossible to develop unless one give up all worldly work? In fact, sometimes we must practice together, or sort of combination of dharma and worldly work. Very important, But then someone may wonder, it didn't say that if we don't give up this life and develop renunciation in our mind, if we remain attached to things of this life, we don't have renunciation? Yes, it is saying that, right? Attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. Such a tradition, it's very famous teaching. It says that, yes, but that means someone only attached to samsara work, and without to sort of develop renunciation or without practice dharma, then no have renunciation, right? There is no characteristic of renunciation. This person only attached to samsara. That means in the Sarja, this quote means if you attach to samsara, you have no renunciation, means you need to understand that. If only attached to samsara, no practice at all, then no renunciation. Because there is this person never think definitely going, right? Definitely going. Definitely going where? No path. They never take the path of enlightenment. So then no have renunciation. Understand? And to understand renunciation, we must first to know what samsara is. So renunciation means knowing that the nature the nature of samsara is suffering. And with this realization, given rise to the desire to be free from suffering. Understand? Renunciation is so difficult for us, right? Because we don't recognize that samsara is suffering, first. Second, the most people don't want to think that samsara is suffering, right? Because they want to enjoy samsaric work and activities. People really want to enjoy. The first, they don't know the characteristic of suffering is the samsara is suffering. They don't know samsara is suffering because they don't want to know. Why? Because we need really enjoy our life. Why I want to give up this? because this is our life. In order to have, in order to have a renunciation mind, or the definitely going mind, you don't have to give it up, but you have to have this motivation, taking path enlightenment, or desire to diminish all your negative emotions. You have to have motivation. In order to have renunciation, you have to have this motivation. I really want to work and try to diminish my negative emotions, because they are not give you happiness, right? So that's why, in order to understand renunciation, you have to understand samsara. You have to understand samsara, but that doesn't mean you have to give up samsara, right? You have to understand samsara. And therefore, we need to remember that samsara will not bring lasting happiness. So, if you really think about closely and analyze samsara, you will see the truth of samsara, whether you like or not. Then you can, First, we need to investigate. I think that's very important. Samsara. First, we need to investigate samsara. Then you like or not. If you don't like very much, then try to practice. Try to practice. So that the renunciation is really important. Without renunciation and bodhicitta, these are the two foundations of Buddhism. We may do both practice of Hinayana and Mahayana, but people don't have the foundations, the renunciation in bodhicitta. Then our motivation will not be correct, right? So if you understand renunciation, you will understand the value of dharma and meditation. If we understand the value of the meditation of dharma, then you are enjoy with your meditation, and you will know how important to practice dharma. Many people do not really understand the value of dharma. That's the problem. That's the only problem. We are every day lazy and less practice, all these things, because we really don't understand the value of dharma. If you really understand this, then you really want to practice, and you are also enjoy practice. So in order to understand the value of dharma, you have to understand what renunciation, what is bodhicitta, what is precious human life. Remember, these four thoughts are so important to practice. Most people don't practice this. I don't know why. Maybe I think the teacher's problem. Teachers don't teach really. It's not enough emphasis to teach the four thoughts. So important to recognize. We are so fortunate that we have everything. We have precious human life, freedoms, advantages, everything. We have this. People don't recognize that. Okay, and then we have this precious human life, but It's impermanent. We never know when we will going to die. We don't know. So that's why that's also another important practice, right? And then samsara and what do you call it? Liberation, right? Very important to practice this. So renunciation in meditation means how you make your life meaningful. In order to understand that, you have to recognize that you have a precious human life. And when you meditate, enjoying the meditation practice makes easy to keep, doing them, right? The more you are familiar with the practice and how to do them, the more enjoyable they will be, become. You have to promise something new in next year, 2013. What is your goal in next year? Good way. I'm going to do this. I like, let's say, okay, become a vegetarian. I'm going to try, become a vegetarian in 2013. Less, like maybe twice eat meat, twice a week, or maybe like that. Try to become a vegetarian or something else. Maybe I'm going to meditate 1 hour or 30 minutes every day. What do you want to do? Huh? You want to do something new. Not all every year same, busy, not like that, Something good for you. What do you think? What do you think good, something you do, like, you say something, promise yourself that good for you and good for others. You should think about that. Try 1 year and then investigate at the end what you did, I'm sure we all in Minneapolis next year, but who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe not, but I hope we are. Everybody's very healthy, looks very happy. But you have to really promise something good for you and good for others. And in order to practice about Buddhism, you need to understand the value of Dharma. What is the benefit? You need to understand that. It gives you really to practice. How much you think, how much important to practice? Any questions? The value of Dharma, value of meditation, value of your precious human life. This is very important to understand. Not just a little bit. You have to really investigate and study, and you really have to understand deeply your life. For questions? What for question? Other four thoughts. All right. Precious human life, impermanence life, and then cause and effect, cause and karma. Then the defects of samsara and benefit of liberation. They're one, right? So precious human life, impermanent life, the second impermanent life, third cause and effect, fourth samsara and liberation. Four thoughts. Maybe you should think about like this. You next year, 1 month, think about precious human life. 1 month, think about impermanence life. 1 month, cause and effect. You should practice like that. Not only thinking, right? Also practice.